Hey, it's Luke John Harrison here. Before we get into this video, make sure please that you like, comment and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure the bell notification icon is on. It only takes 1 second of your day to make mine. Now let's get into it. Oh, that coffee's lush. So if we were to sit over coffee for 30 minutes or so, I'm curious what you'd ask me. You could ask me anything you want, and conversation over coffee goes many ways. Can go anyway. I like a stupid conversation. I like a fun conversation. I like a serious conversation. I like an intriguing conversation. I like an intellectual conversation. I like a conversation about video games or women or whatever. But one conversation that is interesting to me is this idea of how we chase success. How we all chase the successful side of things, and we just want to make things a success. Whether that's to please our parents, whether to prove somebody wrong, whether it looks like we have a little guest. Hello, Millie. Oh, full of love. Whether that's to prove everybody wrong, whether that's to feel full of pride. I don't know. We chase this success, these set of results that are often predetermined by Millie. We are having a conversation. Yeah.
Tail's right.
Now that the tail is out of view, now that the cat is out of the way, it's amazing how we chase success in terms of, often predetermined success, like get to this amount of money and you will be happy, get to this perfect weight on the scales and you will be happy, get to this level in your job and you'll be happy, get married, have 2 kids, house with a white picket fence, make sure you've got the 2 cars on the drive and you will be happy. And this is something that many people are falling victim to. So like they're trying to chase success at the expense of their own fulfillment. And I think I've had personal experience in this as well. Not so much with the kids and marriage side of things, but on the ladder of chasing the money, realizing how anxious and worried and stressed out I became because of just chasing the money to try and be successful, to try and look better to people I didn't know, to possibly even buy things to impress people I didn't even like. And I've seen many people fall victim to this trap. And it's an interesting conversation because I've started to think a lot over the past few years about not so much chasing success. Now, I'm not advocating for forgetting about success or leaving success by the side and just forgetting, because to be progressing in one way or another is one step further towards being successful. But along the way, the focus should never really be on being successful. I believe that in order to be happy, it's an inside job, and success will not make us happier people. It will make us happy in the moment. It will give us a great party to celebrate our success. It will give us a great house or car or situation. Even to the time of maybe we want to get married just because that's what successful people do, even though maybe that's not exactly what we wanted. We follow things based upon others' perceptions of what we should do, from parents, society, cultural, environmental influences, etc. We follow often a predetermined path to say, this is what I should do. But however, in the back of our minds, we have this little desire of what we want to do. That often gets sedated and pushed back, and we think, well, I can't do that because, however, this is real life. I must do what I should do, really. And I'm wondering how many of you watching this and listening right now and who've stuck with me this long are thinking those words. That's probably what I should do, not what I actually wanted to do. So I just want to plant in your idea in your mind, the idea of to stop chasing success and start cultivating fulfillment. Now there's a difference right there. Chasing success is great, and hey, I admire anybody who is successful. I admire a lot of people who are rich and have successful businesses and have successful, success with money. I think that's magnificent. I love money. So should you. Money helps the world go round. It lubricates your life. It gives you more choices. It's a means of energy to exchange for an equal or greater value of energy. And that's the system that we use. Fantastic. But I have just as much respect for somebody who's been happily married for 2 decades, who has a wonderful family and who raises them the best they can, Who's more successful? Well, it's down to perception and it's down to interpretation, isn't it? See, I have admiration for everybody who is quote unquote successful in whatever area. But the problem is most success comes at the expense of personal fulfillment. So we end up pleasing other people. We end up raising a family, doing everything for that family, which is magnificent, by the way. But there comes a time when we start struggling mentally. When we start feeling like we're left out, we don't know how to make ourselves happy until we're making other people happy. I'm going to sneeze. So, with that said, it's often easier to follow what we believe we should do, not what we want to do. And cultivating fulfillment is very much an inside job. And I believe, I'm still learning this, by the way, I am in no means an absolute solidified expert at cultivating fulfillment, but I've made a pretty damn good attempt and success, if you will, out of leaving a job I hated, leaving a toxic relationship and starting my own business, making it successful and getting into a relationship that I was happy and proud of. And getting also from a body that was snorting cocaine every weekend, drinking heavily on a weekend, eating shit food, to a consistently healthy diet and a body that I can be proud of each and every day and that I desire to take my top off as much as I can. That might sound arrogant and egotistical, but it's actually just fact of I have a high level of confidence. So the reason I bring this to your attention is I'm kind of an example of that. And this is what I help people do, is I help them cultivate more fulfillment. And I'll help them get success in whatever area they choose at the same time. But I believe that it's more important to have your focus just shift a little bit from thinking about success a different way. Because if you are unhealthy and you are struggling with your breathing, 10 million pounds in the bank is not going to let that go away. You can't pay to be healthy. You have to act to be healthy. Admittedly, money will help you do the things that you need to do. But no amount of money, if you're not investing time and energy and a little bit of that into your health, will ever compensate for that. And so, at the same time, if you have a relationship that you are miserable in, but you stay just because of the kids, nothing will compensate for that. If you're miserable, what kind of example is that setting to the kids? Because they're going to follow what you do, not what you say. And when they get into a relationship and they become possibly miserable, potentially, they're not going to leave because you didn't leave. When it's your duty to leave if you are unhappy. You see, because we always have a choice. People say, I don't have a choice. No, we always have a choice. We have a choice whether to leave the job that we hate. But it's secure. No, it's not. Your job is never secure because you're relying on somebody else that's higher above than you to do that job right. And who's to say that they won't go off the rails? Who's to say that they won't gamble away their house? Who's to say that they won't go stupid with drugs and alcohol? Who's to say that they won't get fired? Someone else will come in and get rid of you and get cheaper workers or completely overhaul the company and get rid of you. It's possible. Nothing is absolutely certain in this life apart from death and taxes. And we know that. Yet we bide all of our resources in thinking that we should be safe and secure. And often that comes from influence from parents. And I get it. Your parents just want you to be safe and comfortable. But it's a different world we're living in now. It's ever changing. It's not like it used to be. And we know this. And it's hard. It's hard with all this social media and the comparison and everything else to really get your focus into something that truly ignites you and gets you passionate and moves you forward. It's difficult because it's just distraction after distraction after distraction, immediate gratification after gratification after gratification. What about this diet? What about that diet? What about this experience, that toy, this toy, that? And we're just all over the place. Often because of what we expose ourselves to, what we listen to, what we watch, what we read, and the environment that we hang around in. So this is kind of a conversation over coffee. That's quite intriguing. Hopefully you're still with me. And I would love to know what you would ask me if we were sitting over coffee and we were talking about your life and what you want to do and how deeply you want to change and how you want to evolve and expand and grow and progress and contribute, how you want to get a better body, how maybe you want to leave the job you hate, how maybe you want to start a business or have a complete change of career, and how you want to change your mindset, how you want to be more consistent with your good habits, how you want to get in a new relationship because you hate the one you're currently in, how you want to get into a relationship, or how you even want to be single and just enjoy yourself for a bit. Why not? The fact is, I think, is that we don't need to focus on being happy. As long as I'm happy, it's all right. But the problem when people chase happiness is they become too damn sad, because there's always something else to take them away from the happiness. But when we cultivate fulfillment, when we learn about what really makes us tick, about what really makes us feel deeply connected to a self and what values and what makes us feel beyond satisfied and absolutely optimistic for the next day and excited for this day and curious about the next 5 years and even, dare I say, enthralled about the prospect of getting a decade older and excited about where you'd be, now we're talking. Now we're talking about things that mean stuff, rather than what the fuck's going on in politics and with this disease and what this person said and what's going on with the royal family and all this other stuff and the news and media. Like, I don't really know much about it or anything about it. But the fact is, we spend more time dramatizing other people's lives than ever considering cultivating fulfillment in our own. We spend so much time distracted with our phone. Your screen time on your phone will tell you how much time you spend on your screen. And I guarantee you a lot of that is scrolling, looking at the lives of other people, me included. I'm not perfect, but I'm making a conscious effort to decide now what it is that I want from my life and how you can do the same and how you can cultivate fulfillment in your own life. So you don't have to be living to the values of other people and actually deciding what it is that you want and going for it. And there's no reason on this earth why you shouldn't. Nobody should be telling you, you shouldn't do that, you should do this instead. You have this inner calling, this thump of the chest, this beat in your heart which is pulling you, but yet the head gets inside and it tells you why you shouldn't do this and why it's going to be a struggle and why it's not safe and all the rest, and these doubts and fears will come your way. And hey, guess what? It's up to you whether you choose to listen to it or not. What's important, I think, is that you start opening your mind to the potential of a conversation like this. The potential of a conversation like this and how it will change your life. And in the near future, maybe me and you can meet for coffee. And maybe we can have a chat about how we can cultivate that fulfillment and make things happen that you desire in your own life. Comment below if this has been intriguing, thought-provoking. If you have any questions, if you just want to leave a comment, whether you disagree, agree with me, I don't mind either. Leave a comment, drop a share, drop me a message. Do something to connect with me right now if you've watched this all the way through. Hopefully it's been valuable to you, and that's what matters. I appreciate you taking the time, and maybe one day I'll see you for coffee.